What's up everybody, welcome back to another movie review. My name is Big Cam and today we are finishing my Terminator franchise rewatch, and I finally got a hold of T3 Rise of the Machines, and I can see why this movie isn't streaming anywhere and why it was so hard to find. But it was from director Jonathan Mostow from 2003, and boy oh boy are a lot of these elements in this movie, the writing and stuff like that, like jokes that don't age very well, you know, like there's talk to the hand jokes in this movie that, you know, they work, sure, but they're like 2003 work, you know, like 2025 you're like, ugh, nobody says that anymore. But what really is the worst part of this movie for me is the cast, you know, like I just didn't, Claire Danes and Nick Stahl, I just didn't buy into them as leading role people, you know, like I didn't, sure there's a little bit of a love story, if you guys know me, I'm a sucker for a love story, so the moment there's like a connection between the two of them and there's like some kind of love story there, I was like at least interested enough to see how the movie ended. But that poor moron that's like, T3 is so bad, it molested the first two movies and destroyed the franchise, it's such a money grab, like, such a pussy, dude. I can't believe the garbage that's spewed out of your mouth. Like, I was expecting this movie to be so trash and unwatchable, and sure, it's the worst of the Terminator movies, but, like, I've seen worse movies than this. Like, it's just a very 2000s action movie, and like at a certain point you just have to turn off your brain and just be like, yeah, sure, I'm watching Arnold Schwarzenegger be the Terminator, like I'm cool with it. And like they brought him back more as like a guardian role like he was in T2 instead of, you know, reverting back to the T1 assassin Terminator. But it was cool to see Arnold back as the Terminator again, but the TX, you know, other Terminator that's going up against him was a little bit too far away from the Terminators, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like the T-1000 or, you know, even the original Terminator. And honestly, the, like, Rev 9 that we end up getting later in Terminator Dark Fate, I like that Gabriel Luna version a lot better than this version. This version just looked weird, and, like, it was funny that they got Kristanna Loken, you know, this hot bimbo blonde to play her, and like at one point in the movie, like she looks at a sign and like just looks at the women, like, and she's big breasted, and she just kind of like, that's what this officer might like. Grows her tits and then goes, I like your gun. Kills him, takes his gun, goes, drives away. You know, like there's one driving action sequence where they just destroy like 3 city blocks or something like that. This giant truck, like there's some stuff in this that's decent. There's a lot in this that's not that great, but you know, it's a Terminator movie. So for me, I was able to watch it and get through it and acknowledge that, yeah, it's not the best Terminator movie, it's in fact the worst Terminator movie, but like it's not nearly as bad as that guy thought, like that guy was making it out to be. Like, and once again, seeing this movie, I was not like, oh my god, it ruins Terminator 2, it ruins Terminator 1, like cry about it, you fucking loser. Like, never have I ever seen a movie and I've thought it destroyed another one. Like, this movie doesn't destroy anything but itself, you know, like, and it doesn't destroy anything, right? Like, they actually imply that this movie is kind of also a alternate timeline where, like, he's not, you know, I didn't picture him as the same John Connor from the 2002 movie, you know, it doesn't even seem like this is the same John Connor, Sarah Connor that we get, like, later in Terminator Genesis, where, like, we see a flashback of the younger versions of them and they're on a beach in Baja, and, like, that's kind of interesting because, like, I always wondered why they were on some beach, and they're like on a beach because of that one line that he drops in this movie where he's like, yeah, we were on a beach and she died of leukemia, they gave her 6 months but she fought for 3 years. And, you know, it's a little weird that Linda Hamilton isn't in this third movie, but at the same time it's like, yeah, they were trying to continue on the franchise, and they clearly didn't have that great a story, so she was like, nah, I'm not coming back, kill me off. And they were like, alright, cool, we'll kill you off screen. And that just doesn't feel very right either. But yeah, Nick Stahl as John Connor, I just didn't really like as John Connor, as like the leading man of this movie. You know, like Arnold definitely leads this movie. But Claire Danes as Kate Brewster, she wasn't that bad, but the poor girl was just pretty much like a damsel the entire time, like just, what the hell is happening? Why am I in the back of this truck? You know, and the truck's doing these crazy stunts, and I'm like, damn, if she was really in the back of that truck this entire time, that poor woman would be dead. But overall, for me, Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines gets about a 2 out of 5 stars, about a 4 out of 10, and I think that's being nice, you know, like, I think that was the highest I could give it score. It could maybe be lower, but, you know, a 2 out of 10, or 2 out of 5, 4 out of 10, not a very good movie. And it does rank at the bottom of my Terminator franchise ranking list. And of the 6 movies, my list is now on Letterboxd, and this is how it reads. T2 Judgment Day comes in at number 1, the original Terminator at number 2, and then I kinda like Genesis and Dark Fate the same, but I gave Genesis a slightly higher score, and I think that's mostly because I enjoyed the cast in Terminator Genesis. But Terminator Dark Fate, the story was a little bit worse, but the cast I liked even more, so I was like, I liked what they did with the, you know, reboot 20 years later, but it is what it is, because Terminator Salvation wasn't that great, and I thought that one would have been the worst one for sure, but T3 Rise of the Machines comes in last place. So, out of 1 through 6, drop your ranking of the Terminator franchise. Have you seen all 6 of these? And if not, comment below which Terminators you've seen and how you liked them. And if you have any other sci-fi action movie, you know, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, action dramas, whatever, comedies, whatever you're into, I would love to hear your movie recommendations down in the comment section below. Or you can send them to me on my other social medias. Links for those down in the description below. Letterboxd, Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky, Threads, you know, I'm pretty much anywhere. Big Cam, 2 G's in the Big. Just look for this face and you'll find me. And thank you guys so much for coming on by. If you made it this far in the video and you would like to support the channel, the best way to do that is by liking this video, commenting down below, subscribing if you haven't already, and hitting that bell so you don't miss future movie reviews and you get the notifications when they come out. I am wearing a Captain America shirt. Captain America Brave New World just came out on Disney Plus earlier today, so I'll probably be watching that later tonight. But thank you guys once again for coming. If you made it this far, I highly appreciate you. My name's Big Cam once again, and I will see you beautiful people in the next one. Peace!